I'm Amber, and I'm 32 years old. My phone buzzed during a staff meeting, and when I saw the message from my family group chat, my blood turned cold. Come get her. We're boarding now. My mother's follow-up was even worse. Don't make us feel guilty. She needs to learn a lesson. They had left my 8-year-old daughter alone at the airport. I didn't text back. I just grabbed my keys and ran. Where are you watching from today? Drop your location in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe button if you've ever felt your family chose everyone else over you. You'll definitely want to stick around for what happened next. Let me explain how we got here. Because this didn't come out of nowhere. My family had been showing me exactly who they were for years. I was just too hopeful to see it clearly. Last Christmas was a perfect example. My niece Emma got an iPad, a new bike, and enough American Girl dolls to open a store. The living room looked like toy explosion. My daughter Bella, same age as Emma, got books and a sweater. One sweater. When I saw her face fall as Emma squealed over her gifts, my mother pulled me aside. Bella's so quiet and serious, she said. She doesn't need all that stimulation. Books are better for her type of personality. Her type of personality. Translation: Emma matters more. Or take Emma's 8th birthday party the year before. My parents rented a bouncy castle, hired a princess character, invited dozens of kids. It was elaborate and gorgeous. Then Bella turned 8. I asked if they wanted to help celebrate. Oh, honey, we're exhausted from Emma's party, my mother said. Let's just do cake at Sunday dinner. Bella's party was a grocery store cake shared with the whole family who were there for regular dinner. She didn't even blow out her own candles because Emma insisted on helping. I watched my daughter's smile fade. Every family dinner was the same pattern. My mother critiqued everything about Bella. She's so skinny, are you feeding her? Why doesn't she talk more? She seems sad. Meanwhile, my sister's kids were perfect angels. Emma was spirited when she threw tantrums. My nephew Jake was all boy when he broke things. But Bella was concerning when she preferred reading. I tried talking to my mother once about the favoritism. She looked at me like I'd insulted her. You're being overly sensitive. We love all our grandchildren equally. Maybe you're projecting. That shut me up for a while. Maybe I was the problem. Looking back, that's exactly what she wanted me to think. So when my parents insisted Bella join their Florida trip, I should have known better. They own a vacation house there and everyone was going. My sisters, their husbands, all the kids. They brought it up at Sunday dinner right in front of Bella. We're all going to Disney World, my father announced. Bella's eyes lit up instantly. I don't know, I started, but my mother cut me off. Amber, don't be ridiculous. We raised you, didn't we? We can handle one little girl. My sister Lisa added, don't be that mom who never lets her kid do anything. And Bella looked at me with such hope. Please, Mom. I've never been anywhere like that. I should have trusted my gut. But I was tired of being called overprotective. So I said yes. We had a serious talk before the trip, the three of us at my kitchen table. You promise you'll take care of her? I asked directly. My mother looked offended. Of course. She's our granddaughter. What kind of people do you think we are? Spoiler alert. Exactly the kind I was about to find out they were. I gave them $3,000 in cash. Airfare, Disney tickets, meals, souvenirs, everything. More than enough. My mother folded the bills into her wallet without counting. That should cover it, she said dismissively, because apparently gratitude wasn't in her vocabulary. The morning they left, I kissed Bella goodbye. She wore her favorite dress, backpack covered in princess stickers. I love you, baby, I said, hugging her tight. She nodded, already dreaming of Space Mountain. I watched their car pull away and my stomach twisted. Something felt wrong. Turns out my instincts were better than my hope. I couldn't go because of work. Project launch, deadlines. Boss made it clear this week wasn't optional, so I stayed behind, trying not to worry. Turns out I should have worried more. Fast forward to me in that conference room, trying to focus on quarterly reports when my phone exploded. I read those messages over and over. They bought Bella's ticket in economy. They were flying first class. And when my 8-year-old got upset about sitting alone with strangers, they decided the best solution was simple. Abandon her at the airport. Just leave her and board the plane. Because their comfort mattered more than her safety. My hands shook so badly I could barely unlock my car. The drive was a blur of panic and rage. All I could think was my baby, alone and scared, crying for people who were supposed to protect her. The airport was far, but I drove like my life depended on it. Because hers might have. I parked illegally and ran inside, heart pounding. Then I saw her. Police officers surrounding a bench and in the middle my daughter, sobbing, her whole body shaking with the kind of crying that comes from complete abandonment. Bella, I shouted, pushing through crowds. She looked up, face red and swollen, and reached for me. I dropped to my knees and she clung to me like I might disappear too. "Mommy?" she hiccuped. "They left me. Everyone left me." "I know, baby. I'm here now. I'm so sorry." We were both crying. A police officer approached, expression serious. "Ma'am, are you this child's mother?" His name tag read Martinez. "Yes. I came as soon as they texted." "What message?" he asked. Notepad out. I showed him my phone, hands still trembling. Officer Martinez's jaw tightened as he read. His partner, Officer Chen, knelt beside Bella. "Sweetheart, you're safe now." I explained everything while Bella cried against my shoulder. The insistence I let her go. The $3,000. The messages minutes before boarding. "They bought her economy ticket while they flew first class," I said. "When she got upset, they just left her." Officer Chen's face hardened. "Ma'am, what your family did is illegal. This is child abandonment. Airports are extremely dangerous for unaccompanied minors. She could have been trafficked, kidnapped, anything." The reality hit hard. We were taken to a security office for statements. Bella sat in my lap, crying quieter now, but these small sounds that broke my heart. "Can you tell us what happened?" Officer Chen asked gently. Bella shook her head, face buried in my shoulder. Face. But then she spoke. Voice tiny. "Grandma said I was being a baby. She said big girls don't cry about sitting alone. Then everyone got in line and left me." Fresh tears rolled down her cheeks. Officer Martinez typed rapidly. "The flight landed a while ago. We're having airport police in Orlando bring them in for questioning. This is criminal child abandonment." My phone buzzed nonstop. Dozens of missed calls from my family. They must have landed and met police. Good. Let them be terrified. "Don't answer," Officer Martinez advised. "Let them sweat." Hours of paperwork followed. Officer Chen bought Bella snacks, sat with her, but Bella wouldn't let go of my hand. Every time someone walked by, she flinched. Finally, Martinez looked up. "Your family's been detained in Orlando for questioning. They'll be released, but formal charges are being filed. Child abandonment, child endangerment. They're looking at serious consequences." I should have felt guilty, but all I felt was cold satisfaction. They chose this. We finally got home late that evening. Bella fell asleep in the car, exhausted from crying. I carried her up, tucked her in, and sat watching her sleep. Rage built in my chest like nothing I'd ever felt. How dare they? How dare my family do this to my child? And you know what the worst part was? I wasn't even surprised. The signs had been there all along. The next morning, Bella woke up quiet and withdrawn. No breakfast, no cartoons, just sat clutching her stuffed rabbit. Dark circles under her eyes. I sat beside her, close but not crowding. "Baby, want to talk about yesterday?" Long silence. Then she said, voice flat and emotionless, "I don't ever want to see them again." The words from my 8-year-old sounded too old, too hurt. Who, sweetheart? Though I knew. Grandma and Grandpa, Aunt Lisa and Aunt Sarah, everyone. They made me feel like I wasn't wanted. My heart shattered. "I understand. And you never have to see them if you don't want to. What they did was so wrong." She looked up with red eyes. "Really? I don't have to." "Really. This is your choice. And Mommy's going to make sure they understand they can't treat you like that." We spent that day together. I called in sick. Something I never do. We watched movies, ordered pizza, existed in our safe bubble. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. I ignored every call. That evening, with Bella in the bath, I checked messages. Dozens from my mother, increasingly frantic. "Answer your phone. This is ridiculous. You're overreacting. Tell the police this is a misunderstanding." The entitlement made my blood boil. A misunderstanding? They texted me they were leaving her and boarding. That's a choice, not a misunderstanding. My father sent one message. Family doesn't do this to family. The irony was almost funny. Family also doesn't abandon 8-year-olds at airports, but apparently that rule only applied to me. Lisa sent paragraphs about how I was being dramatic, how Bella was fine, how I was destroying the family over nothing. Nothing. They called leaving my daughter crying at an airport nothing. I blocked every number, then called my best friend Rachel. When I explained what happened, she was immediately furious. They left Bella alone. Those monsters. Whatever you need to do, I support completely. Rachel's validation meant everything. Any reasonable person was horrified. I wasn't crazy. They were wrong. The next day, detective from Orlando PD called. My family had been questioned and released. They're being charged with child abandonment and child endangerment. However, I need to be honest. These charges will likely result in fines and probation rather than jail time, especially for first offenders. What happens next? Court date will be set. You may be called to testify. Also, they've been ordered to have no contact with your daughter. If they violate that, additional charges. No contact. Perfect. Over the following days, extended family started calling from numbers I hadn't blocked. My Aunt Carol left voicemails about tearing the family apart. Cousin Jennifer texted that I was unreasonable. My mother's friend called to say I should forgive and forget. Each message made me angrier. Not one person asked if Bella was okay. Not one acknowledged what my family did was wrong. It was all about how I needed to fix this, how I was causing problems. Well, family should also not abandon children. I changed my phone number, blocked everyone on social media, built a wall around Bella and me. My boss was surprisingly supportive when I explained why I'd need time off. What they did crosses every line. Take whatever time you need. That support was huge. Bella started therapy right away. Dr. Sanders was recommended by the police. She was wonderful, patient, skilled at helping kids process trauma. But progress was slow. Bella had nightmares. She panicked if I was even minutes late. She wouldn't let me out of sight. The damage would take time to heal. Weeks passed. The arraignment came. I arranged for Rachel to watch Bella. The courthouse was cold and sterile. My family sat together, dressed up like church. My mother looked tired, my father angry. When Mom saw me, she started to stand, but their lawyer stopped her. Her eyes were pleading. I looked away. I wasn't here to make them feel better. The judge entered. Proceedings were formal and quick. Charges read aloud for each person. Child abandonment, child endangerment. How do the defendants plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Of course. The judge set a trial date and discussed conditions. All defendants are ordered to have no contact with the minor child. Violation will result in immediate arrest. Clear? Yes, Your Honor. I saw my father's hands clench. No contact meant no birthdays, no Christmas, no chances. As we filed out, my mother tried approaching. Amber, please. Can't we talk? No, I said, not stopping. My father called after me. You're destroying this family. I turned back. I'm holding you accountable. There's a difference. In the parking lot, I sat processing. This was really happening. Criminal charges, court dates, and I felt nothing but certainty they deserve this. I picked up Bella from Rachel's. She immediately asked how it went. I decided on honesty. Age appropriate. The judge said they have to stay away from us. They're not allowed to contact you at all. Bella nodded slowly. Good. I don't want to see them anyway. That evening, curiosity got me. I looked at my mother's Facebook from a fake account. Long status about being persecuted by her own daughter, how one mistake shouldn't define a person, how family should forgive. Comments full of support from people who didn't know the truth. I wanted to tell them everything, but stopped myself. Let them believe what they wanted. Getting into Facebook arguments wouldn't help Bella heal. Then something unexpected happened. A letter arrived from my parents' lawyer demanding return of property. I read it multiple times before understanding. They wanted the $3,000 back. Their logic was insane. Since the trip didn't happen, I should return money they'd spent preparing. I actually laughed out loud. These people were unbelievable. Abandoned my daughter, now wanted me to pay them? I called Patricia Morgan, a lawyer friend recommended. She listened carefully. What they did is unconscionable, but this gives us opportunity. We can file counterclaim for return of that money. You gave it for Bella's expenses. They failed to provide services. That money is yours. Can we do both criminal and civil? Absolutely. Criminal addresses the crime. Civil addresses financial harm. You have an excellent case. Let's do it. If they wanted to fight about money, I'd fight. And win. Patricia filed the counterclaim. Instead of paying them, I was suing for the $3,000 plus therapy costs. Their lawyer tried negotiating. Drop theirs if I drop mine. Patricia's response was perfect. Your client's abandoned a child after taking money for her care. My client is owed restitution. Settlement is $3,000 plus therapy costs plus court fees. Otherwise, see you in court. They refused. Fine. I had receipts, texts, paper trail. Let a judge decide. The criminal trial came months later. Prosecution presented timeline, text messages, testimony from Officer Martinez. In my years of airport security, I've never seen a family deliberately abandon a child like this, he said. Usually families are frantic. These people boarded a plane on purpose. His words carried weight. I testified, walking through everything calmly. The insistence, the money, the messages, finding Bella with police. How has this affected your daughter? She has nightmares, panics if I'm late. She's in therapy and will be for a long time. She went from confident and happy to being afraid of abandonment everywhere. My family stole her sense of security. I saw jurors shaking heads sympathetically. Defense tried painting it as misunderstanding during cross-examination. Isn't it possible your family simply misjudged? They sent messages saying they were leaving her and boarding. That's not misjudging. That's choosing. He tried more angles. I shut each down. My mother took the stand in her defense, and I watched her perform. Dabbing eyes with tissue, trembling voice. I never meant for this to happen. We thought Bella would be fine. We didn't realize she'd be so upset. By the time we understood, it was too late. The prosecutor stood for cross-examination. Mrs. Hayes, you sent a message saying, "Don't make us feel guilty. She needs to learn a lesson." What lesson was an 8-year-old supposed to learn from being abandoned? My mother stammered. I just meant she needed to be independent. By abandoning her in one of the busiest airports in the country? We didn't abandon her. We left her where there was security. The prosecutor pulled up texts on screen. You wrote, "Come get her. We're boarding now." You gave Ms. Hayes minutes to reach an airport far away. That sounds like abandonment. My mother had no good answer. She tried claiming she thought I was closer, but the timeline didn't work. The prosecutor continued. Ms. Hayes gave you $3,000 for Bella's expenses. Why did you purchase economy for her while flying first class yourselves? We wanted to be comfortable, Mom said, then realized how it sounded. I mean, we have back problems. Needed extra space. Did you consider upgrading Bella's ticket? First class was expensive. How expensive? The prosecutor knew. About $800 each. So with $3,000, you could have bought Bella first class, correct? Mom's face flushed. I suppose, but we needed money for other things. What things? Hotel upgrades? Nice dinners? Activities? So you used money given for Bella's expenses to upgrade your own accommodations? The prosecutor let that sink in. My father testified next, trying dignity and reason. We love our granddaughter. Terrible misunderstanding. Never intended hurt. But under cross, he couldn't explain boarding that plane. When your granddaughter was crying, why didn't you sit with her? Because we'd paid for first class, he said. Like that explained everything. So your comfort was more important than an 8-year-old's safety? That's not what I'm saying. Then what are you saying? No answer. Lisa and Sarah testified briefly, claiming they thought our parents would handle it. I didn't know they'd just leave her, Lisa said. I thought they had a plan. But you boarded the plane? Saw Bella crying and boarded anyway. I thought Mom and Dad would stay. Flimsy excuse. The trial lasted days. Jury deliberated under 2 hours before returning guilty verdicts. My mother sobbed as the judge read them. My father sat stone-faced but hands shaking. Sentencing came weeks later. Prosecutor argued for maximum penalties, emphasizing trauma. Defense begged leniency, pointing out age and clean records. The judge listened, then delivered ruling. What defendants did was reprehensible. Took money, purchased inadequate accommodations, abandoned her when inconvenient. However, I recognize first-time offenders. Therefore, sentencing Margaret and Thomas Hayes to probation, community service, mandatory parenting classes, and fines. Lisa Patterson, Sarah Miller, and spouses receive probation, community service, and fines. My mother collapsed in relief. No jail, just probation. Service, money. Part of me was disappointed, but Patricia whispered, civil cases next. That's where we really make them pay. The judge continued. Furthermore, all defendants prohibited from contact with minor child. Permanent protective order. That was something. They couldn't see or contact Bella. By the time she was old enough to decide, she'd be adult. As we left, my mother called after me. Amber, please, can't we talk? I didn't turn around. We were done. The civil case was scheduled for later. Simpler than criminal. Just about money. Patricia prepared everything. Straightforward. You gave money for specific purpose. They failed to fulfill it and refused return. Judge will see clearly. I hoped she was right. I wanted that money back. Wanted to take Bella to Disney myself. The hearing day came. Small courtroom, less formal. My family looked exhausted. Trials had taken toll. My mother had lost weight. My father looked older. Part of me felt bad. Very small part. The rest remembered Bella crying. Judge called order and asked me to present first. I kept it simple. Your Honor, I gave my parents $3,000 for my daughter's trip expenses. They were to care for her, take her to Disney, ensure she had everything. Instead, they purchased substandard ticket, then abandoned her. They refused to return any money. Judge turned to my parents. Accurate? Their lawyer stood. Your Honor, my clients used some money for trip planning and purchased plane ticket. They provided services in good faith. How much was the ticket? $180. And the remaining $2,820. Used for trip planning, hotel upgrades, accommodations. Judge looked skeptical. Were these for the child? Lawyer hesitated. For the family overall. So they used money given for child's expenses on their own comfort? Your Honor, the trip didn't happen due to the child's behavior, lawyer tried. Big mistake. Judge's face hardened. Counselor, are you arguing an 8-year-old is responsible for being abandoned? No, Your Honor, I've heard enough. Ms. Hayes, you have receipts showing you provided this money? Patricia handed over bank withdrawal. And text messages showing what happened? I showed my phone. Judge read carefully. Frown deepening. Mrs. Hayes, Mr. Hayes, you wrote, "Come get her, we're boarding, and don't make us feel guilty." What lesson was that? My mother tried speaking, but nothing came. My father said, "We thought she needed to learn independence." By abandoning her? Judge's voice sharp. He turned back. Ms. Hayes, what damages are you seeking? Patricia answered. Return of full $3,000, plus court costs, plus therapy costs to date. Total around $5,000. My parents' lawyer stood. Your Honor, that's excessive. The child is fine. The child is in therapy because your clients traumatized her. Patricia shot back. Real costs Ms. Hayes incurred directly from their actions. Judge nodded. I've seen enough. Judgment for plaintiff. Defendants jointly liable for $5,000, payable within 30 days. Case closed. He banged gavel. My mother burst into tears. My father looked furious. I felt grim satisfaction. They'd pay every penny. As we left, my father tried once more. Amber, this is ridiculous. We're family. I stopped, faced him. No, Dad. Family doesn't do what you did. You stopped being family when you left Bella crying at that airport. She's fine, he insisted. Stop being dramatic. That word. Dramatic. Used my whole life to dismiss my feelings. I'm done, I said simply. Don't contact me. Communicate through lawyers if needed, but we're finished. I walked away without looking back. Patricia beside me. That went well. They have 30 days or we garnish wages. Will they pay? They'll pay. Nobody wants wage garnishment. Too embarrassing. She was right. Under a month later, check arrived for $5,000. No note, no apology, just check. I deposited it immediately and started planning. Bella and I were going to Disney World, just us. That evening, I sat Bella down. She'd been doing better in therapy. Nightmares less frequent. Dr. Sanders said good progress. Baby, remember how Grandma and Grandpa were supposed to take you to Disney? She nodded cautiously. Well, they had to pay back all money they took from us, and I have an idea what to do with it. Her eyes widened. What? How would you like to go to Disney? Just you and me. We'll fly first class, stay at best hotel, spend a week doing everything you wanted. I watched carefully, ready to back off if too much. But instead of fear, I saw excitement. Really? Just us? Just us. And this time I promise, nobody will leave you behind. She threw arms around me. Can we really afford it? The fact my 8-year-old worried about money broke my heart. We can definitely afford it. This is money supposed to be for your trip anyway. Planning the trip became our project. We spent evenings looking at Disney websites, picking parks to visit, making lists of characters and rides. Bella circled pictures and brochures, made detailed schedules. I watched her transform from scared, withdrawn child back into someone who could feel excitement. This trip was more than Disney. It was reclaiming what was stolen. I booked the Grand Floridian, Disney's premier resort. First-class flights both ways. Character dining. Everything I'd wanted for her originally. The cost came to most of settlement money. As departure approached, I noticed Bella getting anxious. Not excited anxious. Genuinely nervous. What's wrong, baby? She bit her lip. What if something goes wrong? I pulled her into my lap. Nothing will go wrong. They can't stop us. They're not allowed to contact us, remember? And even if they tried, I wouldn't let them. You and I are doing this together. Promise? I promise. You're my priority. Not them, not anyone. You. That reassured her. Night before we left, I helped pack her suitcase. She carefully folded new princess dresses we'd bought. Mommy, thank you for always choosing me, she said quietly. Those words hit hard. Always, baby. I will always choose you. Every single time. She hugged me tight. and I felt grateful despite everything. She still trusted me. My family tried to break that. Family. But we were healing. Next morning, we headed to airport. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous too. Last time at airport had been worst day of our lives. But this was different. We were together from start. We checked in at first class counter, got boarding passes with names side by side. Amber Hayes and Bella Hayes. Seats together. First class. Like she deserved. Going through security, I held Bella's hand and explained every step. We're staying together. You're not going anywhere without me. She nodded, gripped tight. At gate, I showed boarding passes again. See? Same plane. Sitting right next to each other. What if they separate us? She worried. I knelt down. They won't. And even if someone tried, which they won't, I'd raise such fuss whole airport would hear. You are not going anywhere without me. Got it? That earned small smile. Got it. When they called first-class boarding, Bella's eyes widened as we walked on ahead of everyone. Flight attendant greeted us warmly. Welcome, first time flying first class? Bella nodded shyly. Well, you're in for treat. Cookies, juice, movies on your own screen. Seats were huge, more legroom than Bella knew what to do with. She pressed every button, adjusting recline, footrest, light. This is amazing, she whispered. I felt tears. This should have been her experience originally. As plane took off, Bella pressed face to window, watching ground fall away. Mommy, look, everything's getting so small. I squeezed her hand, feeling weight lifting. We were doing this, reclaiming what was taken. Flight attendants spoiled us. Warm cookies, fresh fruit, fancy sodas, and real glasses. Bella tried staying composed, but I saw amazement at every luxury. We landed in Orlando early afternoon. Florida sunshine feeling like warm embrace. Rental car waiting, drive to hotel took time with Bella's face glued to window, taking in palm trees and colors. The Grand Floridian was spectacular. Victorian-style building, elegant and magical. Exactly what I wanted. Bellhop took luggage while we checked in. Bella's mouth hanging open at lobby with crystal chandeliers and live piano. Is this real? She whispered. It's real. This is all for us. Our room was actually suite with separate bedroom for Bella. Living area, balcony overlooking Magic Kingdom. You could see Cinderella's castle in distance, lit against evening sky. Mommy, Bella breathed, standing on balcony. I can see castle from here. I know. Pretty amazing, right? She turned and hugged me tight. This is best day ever. Thank you for bringing me. Thank you for not leaving me. Her words reminded me why we were here. Not just for Disney, but to prove she was valued and wanted and loved. We spent that evening exploring hotel, having dinner, riding monorail just for fun. Bella was exhausted by bedtime, but happy exhausted. As I tucked her in, she looked up with serious eyes. Mommy, this is better than if they'd taken me. How so? Because with them, I would have felt like burden, like I was in way. But with you, I never feel that. I feel wanted. My heart broke and healed simultaneously. You are wanted, Bella. You're most important person in my world. Don't ever forget that. I won't. And Mommy, I'm glad it's just us. Even if none of bad stuff happened, I think I'd have more fun with just you. Coming from Bella, that was highest compliment. And truth was, I agreed. This week was just ours. No complicated dynamics, no pleasing everyone. Just mother and daughter building our own traditions. Next morning, we woke early for first full day at Magic Kingdom. Bella had chosen outfit night before, special princess dress. She twirled in mirror, sparkles catching light. I look like real princess, she said with wonder. You are real princess. My princess. We had breakfast at hotel, then took monorail to park. Walking down Main Street with Castle ahead, I watched Bella's face light up with pure joy. This was what childhood should look like. Wonder, excitement, security. No fear, no abandonment, just magic and possibility. We rode every ride she wanted, met every character, ate too much candy. I took 100 photos of her smiling face. By mid-afternoon, sitting on bench eating ice cream, Bella said, I'm glad they didn't come. I'm glad it's just us. I pulled her close. Me too, baby. This is our trip, our memories. We spent week in blur of happiness, all parks, character meals, late nights watching fireworks. Bella transformed before my eyes, becoming more confident with each day. Scared little girl left at airport was being replaced by someone who knew she was valued. On last night, watching fireworks over Castle, Bella slipped hand into mine. Mommy, this was best week of my whole life. Mine too, sweetheart. And I meant it. This week had been about more than Disney. About showing Bella she mattered, She deserved good things. Not everyone would leave her. Flight home was bittersweet, both exhausted but happy, loaded with souvenirs and memories. Bella fell asleep before takeoff, head on my shoulder. I looked at her peaceful face and felt overwhelming gratitude. We'd made it through, survived what my family did, and come out stronger. When we landed home, Rachel picked us up with her daughter. The girls hugged like they'd been apart forever. "How was it?" Rachel asked, loading luggage. "Perfect," I said simply. "Exactly what we needed." Rachel squeezed my hand, understanding. "Good. You both deserve that." As we drove, Bella chattered to Emma about rides and characters. Enthusiasm infectious. Later that evening, after unpacking and Bella was in bed, I did something I'd been planning. I posted photos on Facebook from new account my family didn't know about. First-class seats with Bella grinning. Bella hugging Mickey in front of Castle. The two of us on hotel balcony with Castle behind. Caption simple. Sometimes the best family is the one you choose. Thank you to everyone who supported us. I tagged Rachel and few friends who'd been there. Within an hour, photos were shared and commented on. "So glad you got your Disney trip. You both deserve all happiness." I didn't mention my parents or what they did. Everyone who mattered already knew. Next morning, Rachel called. "Amber, did you see your mother's Facebook?" "No, I don't follow her anymore." Rachel hesitated. She posted about people who flaunt vacations to hurt family, and Lisa commented something nasty about people who never let things go. I felt flash of anger, then let it go. Let them post whatever they want. Doesn't change anything. We had amazing time. They can't take that away. You're right. Just wanted you to know. Thanks. But I wasn't letting their bitterness ruin our happiness. Over following weeks, life settled into new normal. Bella's therapy sessions reduced to once a week, sign of progress. She was doing better in school, making friends easier, participating more. Her teacher pulled me aside. "I don't know what happened over your trip, but Bella seems like completely different child. More engaged, confident, wonderful to see." "We had really good trip," I told her. "Sometimes that's all it takes." Dr. Sanders noticed too. This Disney trip was incredibly healing. Creating positive memories to replace traumatic ones was brilliant. I just wanted her happy. Mission accomplished. I also noticed I was different. Lighter somehow. For years I'd been trying to please my family, trying to fit in, trying to make them see Bella's worth. Now that we'd cut them off, I wasn't carrying that weight. I could just be Bella's mom without worrying about criticism or comparisons. It was freeing in a way I hadn't expected. Few weeks after returning, I got call from unknown number. Usually didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Ms. Hayes? This is Detective Morrison from Orlando PD. Wanted to update you." "About what?" "The probation terms for your family require parenting classes and counseling. They've completed requirements. Probation ongoing, but they're in compliance with court orders." "Okay. I also wanted you to know protective order remains in effect." "Good. I don't want them anywhere near her." "Understood. Just keeping you informed. If they violate order in any way, contact us immediately." After hanging up, I sat thinking. My family was taking classes, going to counseling, checking boxes. But I doubted they'd actually learned anything. People like them didn't change because Judge told them to. Time passed. Weeks became months. Bella continued thriving. We settled into routines, school, therapy, work, weekends together. I joined support group for parents dealing with family estrangement, which helped more than expected. Hearing other stories reminded me cutting off toxic family, even parents, was sometimes healthiest choice. I wasn't bad daughter, I was good mother protecting her child. Spring arrived. Bella's 9th birthday approaching. Last year, 8th birthday overshadowed by airport incident. This year, I was determined to make it special. "What do you want to do?" I asked. "Can we have party? Just with my real friends?" The phrase real friends told me everything. She was learning to distinguish between people who genuinely cared and people who pretended. "Absolutely. Who do you want to invite?" She made list. Kids from school, Rachel's daughter Emma, few neighbors, not one family member. We planned everything together, art-themed party since Bella loved painting. Set up easels in backyard, bought supplies, planned afternoon of creativity followed by cake and pizza. The party was success. Bella laughed and played and looked genuinely happy, surrounded by people who celebrated her for who she was. Watching her blow out candles, I felt grateful. We'd come so far from scared little girl at airport. As spring turned to summer, we settled into comfortable rhythm. Bella joined art class, made more friends, even started sleeping over at Rachel's house occasionally. Big milestone considering her abandonment trauma. Each sleepover we built up to carefully, but she was ready, growing confident in her security. One Saturday afternoon, something happened that would become final confirmation we'd made right choice. I was at grocery store with Bella. We were in produce section picking apples when I saw her, my mother. My 2 aisles over with Lisa, carts full of groceries. For a moment, our eyes met across store. I froze, unsure what to do. Leave? Stay? Before I could decide, Bella tugged my sleeve. Mom, what about these apples? Those look perfect, baby, I said, trying to keep voice normal. But Bella had followed my gaze and spotted them too. I saw her body tense, fear flash across face. It's okay, I whispered. They can't come near us. Judge said so. My mother and Lisa were having intense whispered conversation, glancing our way. I expected them to leave, avoid awkwardness. Instead, they started walking toward our section. My protective instincts kicked in. I moved slightly in front of Bella, positioning myself between her and them. They stopped about 10 feet away, just far enough to technically not violate order. My mother opened mouth, but I cut her off. Don't. You're not allowed to contact us. We're just shopping, my mother said, voice cold. This is public place. Then shop somewhere else. Protective order says no contact. That includes approaching us in public. Lisa scoffed. You're being ridiculous. We have just as much right to be here. She was legally right, but this felt like violation anyway. I could feel Bella pressed against my back, hand clutching my shirt hem. She was scared. These people who were supposed to love her had made her afraid. My mother's eyes flicked to Bella, and I saw something cross her face. Not regret or love, but annoyance. Like Bella was inconvenience she'd rather not deal with, because apparently we still were. Then she turned to Lisa and said, loud enough for me to hear clearly, some people hold grudges forever. It's exhausting. The casual cruelty of it took my breath away. No acknowledgement of what they'd done. No remorse. Just dismissing our pain as grudge, like we were being petty about nothing. I felt something inside me harden into steel. This was who they were. Who they'd always been. Let's go, Bella, I said, abandoning our half-full cart. I wasn't standing here letting them pretend they were victims. As we walked away, I heard Lisa say, dramatic as always. I didn't respond, didn't give them satisfaction, but felt Bella shaking against me as we hurried to car. In parking lot, I knelt to her level. Are you okay, sweetheart? Bella's eyes were filled with tears. Why didn't Grandma even look at me? Why did she act like that? And there it was. The question I'd been dreading. How do you explain to child that her own grandmother doesn't care enough to even acknowledge her existence? Because, baby, some people are so focused on being right that they forget how to be kind. And that's on them, not on you. But I didn't do anything wrong, Bella said, voice breaking. I know you didn't. You didn't do single thing wrong. They're the ones who made bad choices, and now they're angry there are consequences. That's not your fault. She nodded, but I could see this had shaken her. Therapy progress we'd made, confidence she'd been building, felt fragile again. That night, I called Dr. Sanders and scheduled session. The encounter had reopened wounds I thought were healing. During therapy, Bella was quiet at first. Then she said something that gutted me. If Grandma loved me, she would have at least smiled at me, right? Dr. Sanders looked at me, then back at Bella. Bella, sometimes adults make choices that have nothing to do with children in their lives. Your grandmother's choices tell us about her, not about you. But she looked at me like I wasn't there. I know, sweetheart. And that must have hurt so much. Bella nodded, tears streaming. It did. It still does. After session, Dr. Sanders pulled me aside. That encounter was setback, but we'll work through it. Important thing is you continue reinforcing their behavior isn't about her worth. I try, but how do I protect her from running into them? We live in same area. You can't control random encounters, but you can control how you respond. You did well, keeping her safe and getting out. Just keep doing that. Over next few weeks, Bella seemed more withdrawn again. Grocery store encounter reminded her that her family didn't want her and that pain was fresh. I tried everything to cheer her up. Extra art supplies, movie nights, trips to favorite places. Nothing seemed to fully reach her. Then one evening, as we made dinner together, Bella asked, Mom, why do you think they don't love me? I put down spoon and gave her full attention. Oh, baby, I think they probably do love you in their own limited way. But they love themselves more. They love being comfortable and being right more than they love showing up for you. That's sad kind of love, Bella observed. Wisdom in her young voice broke my heart. It is. And that's why we don't need them in our lives. Because love shouldn't feel sad. It should feel safe and warm and happy. Like what we have. She thought about this. I am happy with just us. I mean, I'm sad they don't love me right way, but I'm happy I have you. And you will always have me, no matter what. Life continued. We settled back into routines after that setback. School, therapy, work, weekends. Bella's confidence slowly rebuilt. Summer arrived, bringing long days and warm nights. We spent evenings on our porch talking about everything and nothing. One evening, watching fireflies in yard, Bella said, "Mom, I don't think about them as much anymore." No? No. I used to think about them every day. Wonder if they missed me, if they were sorry. But now I mostly just think about us and how happy we are. That felt like victory. Not forgetting what happened, but not letting it consume her either. As summer progressed, we took another trip, this time to beach. Bella had never seen ocean, and watching her play in waves filled me with joy. We built sandcastles, collected shells, spent evenings on boardwalk eating ice cream. No fancy resorts or first-class flights this time, just simple happiness. "This is my favorite place," Bella declared one evening watching sunset. "Better than Disney?" I teased. She thought seriously. "Different good. Disney was magic. But this is peaceful." I understood exactly what she meant. One afternoon during beach trip, Bella asked, "Do you think they ever think about me?" I chose words carefully. "I think they probably do. But I think they mostly think about how they feel wronged, not about how they hurt you." That's sad. It is sad. But baby, you can't make people care right way. You can only decide how much space they get in your life. "They don't get any space in my life," Bella said firmly. "Good, because you deserve people who show up for you, not people you have to beg to care." She nodded, satisfied with that answer. We spent rest of summer in peaceful routine. Beach trips, art classes for Bella, lazy afternoons reading on porch. As fall approached and new school year started, I reflected on journey we'd been on. Little over a year since airport incident. Year of healing and growth and building life on our terms. Bella was thriving. She'd made honor roll last year, had solid group of friends. Her artwork was displayed in school hallway. This was what mattered. Not revenge or even justice, but building life so full of love that their absence didn't leave whole. One evening, we were making dinner when Bella said something that showed how far we'd come. "Mom, you know what's weird?" "What?" "Baby. I used to be scared I wasn't good enough for them, but now I know they weren't good enough for us." The clarity in her statement was beautiful. That's exactly right, and it took me a long time to learn that lesson. "I'm glad you learned it younger. Because you taught me," she said simply. We taught each other. As we ate dinner together, Max the dog we'd gotten begging for scraps under table, I felt overwhelming peace. We'd survived what my family did to us. More than survived. We'd thrived. As Bella's 9th birthday approached, I wanted to mark the occasion properly. Last year, her 8th birthday had been quiet, still recovering from trauma. This year would be different. "What do you want for your birthday?" I asked one evening. Bella thought carefully. "Can we go back to Disney? Just for weekend?" The request surprised me. "Really? You want to go back?" She nodded enthusiastically. "I want to make more happy memories there. And I want to ride Space Mountain again. I was too scared last time, but I think I'm ready now." The fact she wanted to face fear she'd had showed remarkable growth. "Then that's what we'll do. Disney World for your 9th birthday." Her face lit up in a way that made every struggle worth it. We planned shorter trip this time. Long weekend instead of full week. Same hotel, though, the Grand Floridian. Bella insisted. "It's our special place," she explained. I understood. That hotel represented our healing, our reclamation of what was stolen. Booking the trip felt different this time. Not desperate or defiant, just joyful. We flew out on Thursday before her birthday weekend. Bella was excited but not anxious like last time. She'd learned airports weren't dangerous when she was with someone who actually cared about her. At security, she walked through confidently. No panic, no fear. Growth. Our suite at Grand Floridian felt like coming home. Bella ran to balcony immediately. "Look, Mom, castle's still there." "It'll always be there, baby." We spent that evening exploring, having dinner, soaking in magic. But this time it felt lighter. Less about proving something, more about just enjoying. Friday morning, Bella's actual birthday, we started at Magic Kingdom. I'd arranged surprise character breakfast, and watching her face light up when all the princesses sang happy birthday was perfect. "This is best birthday ever," she whispered. "And we just started," I said. We rode every ride she wanted, ate too much candy, laughed until our sides hurt. At one point, sitting on bench resting, Bella said, "Mom, remember when I was scared of Space Mountain last time? I remember. I'm ready now. Can we go? We waited in line together, Bella bouncing with anticipation instead of fear. As we boarded the ride, she squeezed my hand. Together? Always together. The ride was thrilling and fast, and when we got off, Bella was glowing. I did it. I wasn't scared. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of me too. That evening, we watched fireworks from our balcony instead of in park. More intimate, just us. As colors exploded overhead, Bella leaned against me. Thank you for best birthday. Thank you for being the best daughter. Mom, do you think next year will be even better? I think every year will keep getting better. Because we're building something good together. She nodded, satisfied. Rest of weekend was blur of happiness. More rides, more characters, more memories. On flight home Sunday, Bella was quiet but content. What are you thinking about? I asked. Just that I'm really lucky. I know what happened was bad, but everything after has been really good. Does that make sense? Perfect sense. Sometimes the worst things lead to best things in unexpected ways. Like how them being mean made us closer? Exactly like that. Back home, life continued its comfortable rhythm. School started. Bella joined more activities, made more friends. Her confidence was unshakable now. Dr. Sanders suggested we could stop regular therapy, move to as-needed basis. Bella's done the work. She's processed trauma and developed healthy coping. She knows she can come back if needed, but I think she's ready to just be kid now. It felt like milestone. We'd done it. We'd healed. Few weeks after birthday trip, I got letter in mail. From my father's lawyer. My stomach dropped before I even opened it. What now? But inside was something unexpected. Legal document terminating probation early for good behavior. My family had completed all requirements, paid all fines, done all service. They were free from court supervision. I stared at paper. Processing. Part of me expected to feel something. Anger, fear, vindication. But I felt nothing. Just distant acknowledgement of information. Their probation ending didn't change anything for us. Protective order was still in effect until Bella turned 18. And even after, I doubted they'd try contact. That encounter at grocery store had shown me everything I needed to know. They weren't sorry. They were inconvenienced. I filed the letter away with other legal documents and moved on with my day. That evening, I mentioned it to Bella casually. Got letter today. Grandma and Grandpa finished their probation. She looked up from homework. Okay. Does that change anything? Nope. They still can't contact us. And even if they could, we don't want them to, right? Right. They had their chance. The clarity and peace in her response showed how far she'd come. No more wondering if they loved her. No more hoping they'd change. Just acceptance of who they were, and choice to move forward without them. As fall deepened into winter, we started planning for holidays. Last few years had been spent with Rachel's family, which was lovely. This year, I asked Bella what she wanted. Can we do our own traditions? Just us? Like what? Like picking out tree together, making cookies, watching Christmas movies all day. Our own thing. The desire to create something uniquely ours touched me. I loved that idea. We spent December building our own traditions. Tree decorating became event with hot chocolate and music. Cookie baking turned into competition for most creative design. Christmas morning was just us. Pajamas and presents and laughter. No stress, no walking on eggshells, no trying to please anyone. Just pure joy. After opening presents, Bella said something that summed everything up perfectly. Mom, remember how I used to think family had to be people related to you? I remember. I don't think that anymore. Family is people who make you feel safe and happy and loved. Like us. And Rachel and Emma, that's our family. That's exactly right, baby. As year came to close, I reflected on journey we'd been on. From that horrible day at airport to this moment of peace and happiness. My family had tried to break us. Instead, they'd shown us we were stronger than we knew. They'd meant to teach Bella a lesson about being independent. They were right, just not lesson they intended. She learned she deserved better. And so did I. We'd spent year building life so full of love and purpose that their absence didn't leave whole. They thought leaving Bella at airport would put her in her place. Instead, it freed us both. New Year's Eve, Bella and I sat on porch watching neighbors' fireworks. What's your resolution? She asked. To keep doing exactly what we're doing, building happy life together. What's yours? Same, and maybe get better at painting. You're already amazing at painting, but I want to be even better, because art makes me happy. As midnight approached and fireworks intensified, I pulled her close. I'm so proud of who you're becoming. Strong and kind and confident. I learned from you. We learned from each other. As New Year began with burst of color overhead, I felt complete. Not because we'd gotten revenge or even justice, though both had happened, but because we'd built something beautiful from ashes of betrayal. My family would never understand what they'd lost. And that was their problem, not ours. The new year brought fresh start feeling. Bela was thriving in school, her artwork getting more sophisticated, her friendships deepening. I'd gotten promotion at work, recognition for dedication I'd maintained through everything. Life felt good, stable. Then one morning in January, I got email that made me pause, from my sister Lisa. Subject line, "Can we talk?" I stared at it long time before opening. Part of me wanted to delete it unread, but curiosity won. Amber, I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I know I'm probably last person you want contact with, but I need to say something. I've been thinking a lot about what happened, about what we did to Bella, and I finally understand. Not because of court or therapy or anything they made us do, but because of my own daughter. Emma asked me other day why she doesn't see Bella anymore, and I had to explain what we did. Watching horror on my daughter's face when she realized we left Bella alone at airport, I finally got it. Emma asked if someone had left her alone in scary place, would I have just walked away? And I couldn't answer her, because truth is no, I would burn world down for my daughter, but I didn't do that for yours. I'm not asking for forgiveness, I don't deserve it. I'm not asking for a relationship. I know that ship sailed. I just needed you to know that at least one person in this family finally understands. You were right. About everything. You were right to protect Bella. You were right to cut us off. You were right to make us face consequences. I just wish I'd realized it sooner. I hope Bella's doing well. I hope she knows she was never the problem. We were. Lisa. I read it 3 times, looking for manipulation or hidden agenda. Found none. Just genuine remorse. Part of me wanted to respond, acknowledge the apology, but larger part knew it wouldn't change anything. Apology was year too late. Actions had shown who they were over and over. One email didn't undo that. I closed it without responding. That evening, I showed it to Bella. Let her decide if she wanted to know. She read carefully, then handed phone back. "What do you think?" I asked. I think she means it, but I also think it doesn't change anything. It doesn't have to change anything. You don't owe anyone forgiveness, even aunts who finally understand. I know, and I'm okay with that. Her certainty was beautiful. Few days later, I got another message. This time from my mother's friend, Patricia. Apparently, my mother wanted to reach out but knew she couldn't due to protective order. Would I be willing to meet for coffee? I didn't even consider it. Responded simply, no. What's done is done. Patricia tried again, pushing about healing and forgiveness. I blocked her number. Some people never learned that no meant no, but it reminded me of something important. We needed to protect ourselves better. I talked to Patricia, my lawyer, about additional steps. She suggested documenting everything, keeping record of contact attempts. If they're having others reach out, that could be considered violation of spirit of protective order. We sent cease and desist letter through their lawyer. Any further attempts to contact us, even through third parties, would be considered harassment. It worked. Messages stopped. As winter turned to spring, Bella and I fell into comfortable rhythm. School, work, art classes, weekends together. We'd built life that was ours, untainted by anyone else's drama. One Saturday, we were at Park flying kite when Bella said, "Mom, I don't miss them anymore." No. I used to miss idea of them, you know? Like having grandparents and aunts who cared. But I don't miss them specifically. Does that make sense? Perfect sense. You miss what you thought you had, not what you actually had. Exactly. And now I'm just happy with what we do have. Me too. Baby. Spring brought more growth. Bella joined school play, playing small role but loving every minute. Watching her on stage, confident and glowing, I felt overwhelming pride. After show, as we celebrated with ice cream, Bella said, "Thanks for coming. I wouldn't miss it for world." I know. That's the difference. You show up, they never did. Simple observation but profound truth. They'd never shown up for Bella, not really. They'd shown up for appearances, for family photos, for events that made them look good, but they'd never shown up for her. As school year wound down, we started planning summer. Beach trip again, maybe camping, definitely art camp for Bella. We were making memories and traditions that were ours alone. One evening in May, as we sat on porch watching sunset, Bella asked question I'd been waiting for. "Mom, when protective order ends, when I'm 18, do you think they'll try to contact me?" I thought carefully before answering. They might, or they might not. Honestly, I don't know. But by then, you'll be adult. You can decide what you want. I already know what I'll want. Nothing to do with them. That's valid choice. But you might feel differently when you're older, and that's okay too. I won't though, because they showed me who they were when I was 8. I believe them. Maya Angelou quote, simplified, but accurate. As summer arrived, we took planned beach trip. This time, Bella was braver in waves, more confident exploring. Watching her grow into herself was privilege. On last night of trip, we were walking on beach at sunset when she said, "You know what I'm grateful for?" "What?" "That they left me at airport." The statement shocked me. Really? Not because it was good, it was awful, but because it showed me the truth. If they hadn't, I might have spent my whole life wondering why they didn't love me enough. This way, I know it wasn't about me. It was always about them. The wisdom from 9-year-old was remarkable. That's a very mature way of looking at it. I learned from Best. We walked in comfortable silence. Waves lapping at our feet. "Mom?" "Yeah, baby. I'm happy. Really, truly happy." "Are you?" I looked at my daughter, confident and joyful and secure. "I'm happier than I've ever been." And I meant it. We'd built something beautiful from ashes of betrayal. My family had tried to diminish us. Instead, they'd revealed their own smallness while we grew stronger. As we headed back to our hotel, Bella's hand in mine, I felt complete. Not because we'd gotten revenge, not even because justice was served, but because we'd chosen love over bitterness, growth over stagnation, happiness over hurt. As summer turned to fall, Bella started 4th grade with confidence I'd never seen before. She walked into classroom with head high, ready for new challenges. Her teacher called me aside after first week. "I just wanted to say, Bella's an absolute joy. So engaged, so creative, and her kindness with other kids is remarkable. Thank you. She's worked hard to get here." Well, it shows. Watching Bella thrive was vindication of every choice I'd made. Cutting off my family hadn't damaged her. It had freed her to become who she truly was. One evening in September, we were making dinner when Bella said, "Mom, can I tell you something?" "Always." "I've been thinking about forgiveness. Not because I want to forgive them, but just thinking about what it means." I put down knife I was chopping with, giving her full attention. "What are you thinking?" "I think forgiveness is when you stop letting what someone did hurt you. But that doesn't mean you have to let them back in your life. That's very wise. So I think maybe I forgive them. Not for them, but for me. Because I don't want to be angry anymore. I just want to be happy." The maturity in her reasoning amazed me. I think that's a healthy way to look at it. But I still don't want to see them. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or pretending it didn't happen. No, it doesn't. And you never have to see them if you don't want to. Good, because I don't. We continued making dinner and I marveled at child I was raising. She'd taken painful experience and turned it into wisdom. That was strength. October brought Bella's school art show. She had 3 pieces displayed, all of them stunning. One caught my attention particularly. Painting of airport terminal, but instead of showing abandonment, she'd painted it as doorway. Behind, shadows and darkness. Through doorway, light and color and possibility. "Tell me about this one," I said. She explained, "It's about how sometimes bad things are actually doorways to better things. What was meant to hurt me actually freed us." The symbolism was clear. My 9-year-old had articulated something it had taken me months to understand. Her art teacher overheard. Bella has real talent. But more than that, she has depth. She understands art comes from truth. She does, I agreed proudly. As we drove home that night, Bella said, "I'm glad people liked my art, but I didn't make it for them. I made it for me. That's best reason to create anything. That's what you taught me. Do things that make you happy, not things that make other people approve." Had I taught her that? Maybe. Or maybe we'd learned it together. As holidays approached, we continued building our own traditions. Bella wanted to volunteer at animal shelter this year, so we spent Saturday mornings walking dogs and playing with cats. "It feels good to help," she explained. "Like making good things come from everything." Christmas was quiet and perfect. Just us, our traditions, our joy. No stress, no drama, no walking on eggshells. After opening presents, Bella said, "This is what I wanted last year. Just us, being happy." Me too, baby. As year came to close, I reflected on journey. From that terrible day at airport to this moment of peace. We'd survived. More than survived. We'd built life so full of love and purpose that their absence didn't hurt anymore. It just was. They'd wanted to teach Bella a lesson about independence. They succeeded, just not how they intended. She learned she could be happy without people who didn't value her. She learned family was choice, not obligation. She learned she deserved better. And watching her now, confident and creative and kind, I knew we'd done more than survive. We'd thrived. New Year's Eve, we made resolutions together. Mine is to keep being happy and making good art, Bella said. What's yours? Mine is to keep being best mom I can be for best daughter in world. That's cheesy. Mom! But true. She laughed, and sound filled me with joy. As fireworks went off at midnight, Bella hugged me tight. Love you, Mom. Thank you for always choosing me. Always, baby. Every single time. Standing there, watching colors explode overhead, I knew we were going to be okay. Better than okay. We were going to be happy. Not despite what my family did, but because of how we'd responded to it. They'd tried to break us. Instead, they'd forged us into something stronger. And that was victory enough. Winter settled in, bringing cozy evenings and hot chocolate on porch. Life had found rhythm that felt right. Bella was doing well in school, her friendships solid, her art improving constantly. I was content in a way I'd never been before. Then one Saturday in January, something happened that would become final piece of our story. I was at grocery store, Bella with me. We were in produce section, just normal shopping trip. I saw my mother before she saw me. She was with Lisa, pushing cart, looking older, but not necessarily wiser. For a split second, I considered leaving, avoiding encounter entirely. But then I thought, why should I? This was public place. I had every right to be here. And I wasn't afraid anymore. They saw us at the same time. My mother's face went through several expressions. Surprise, discomfort, something that might have been guilt. But then it hardened. She said something to Lisa, and they both looked our way. I put hand protectively on Bella's shoulder. Not from fear, but from instinct. My mother and Lisa started to walk past our aisle, clearly intending to ignore us completely. And you know what? I let them. Didn't call out, didn't try to engage, just let them walk past like strangers. Because that's what they were. Strangers who happened to share DNA. But Bella saw them. And worse, they saw her. My mother's eyes met Bella's for briefest second, and there was nothing there. No recognition, no regret, no love, just cold indifference. She looked away and kept walking, like Bella was invisible, like she didn't matter. I felt Bella's hand grip mine tighter. After they were gone, Bella looked up at me. Did you see that? I did. She looked right at me and didn't even care. I know. Baby. Good. The word surprised me. Good? Yeah. Because now I know for absolute sure. It's not that I'm not good enough for them. They're not good enough for us. The clarity in her statement was beautiful. That's exactly right. We finished our shopping, got in car, drove home, and you know what we did? We made cookies, played with our dog, laughed at silly movie, lived our lives. Because that encounter that might have devastated us a year ago, it was just moment, just confirmation of what we already knew. That evening, as I tucked Bella into bed, she said, I'm glad we saw them today. You are? Yeah, because now I don't have to wonder anymore. I don't have to think maybe they changed, maybe they're sorry. I know, and knowing is better than wondering. She was right. That encounter had given us closure. Not dramatic, not explosive, just quiet certainty. They hadn't changed. They weren't sorry, and we didn't need them to be. As weeks passed, I noticed something. Bella stopped mentioning them entirely. Not in angry way, not in hurt way. They just weren't part of her thoughts anymore. One evening, I asked if she wanted to talk about running into them. Not really. There's nothing to talk about. They're just people I used to know. The finality in her statement was peaceful, not bitter. Few weeks later, I got a letter from lawyer. My father's lawyer, to be precise, informing me they were requesting modification of protective order. Not full removal, but adjustment to allow incidental contact like what happened at grocery store. I called Patricia immediately. Can they do this? They can request anything. Doesn't mean they'll get it. And honestly, this request is pointless. Order already allows for incidental contact in public. What it prohibits is deliberate contact. So this is just harassment. Making you think about them, making you spend money on legal fees. Classic control tactic. What do? We file response saying order is working exactly as intended. No modification needed. Judge will almost certainly agree. She was right. 2 weeks later, got notice that request was denied. Judge noted that current order was appropriate and would remain in effect. Small victory, but victory nonetheless. As spring arrived, Bella and I started planning for future. She'd be starting middle school next year. Big transition. We talked about it often. Are you nervous? I asked one evening. Little bit, but also excited. New teachers, harder classes, more art options. You're ready for it. I know I am, because you taught me I can handle hard things. The confidence in her voice was everything. One Saturday afternoon, we were at park when Rachel and Emma joined us. While girls played, Rachel said, "You know what I admire about you?" "What?" "You never play victim. You could have spent last year bitter and angry, but instead you just focused on building something beautiful with Bella." I was angry, especially at first, but you didn't let it consume you. You let it fuel you to protect her, then you let it go. That takes real strength. It had taken strength. Strength I didn't know I had until I needed it. As summer approached, we took our annual beach trip. By now, it had become tradition. Bella was completely at ease in waves, exploring tide pools, building elaborate sand structures. Watching her, I felt overwhelming gratitude. On last night, walking on beach at sunset, Bella said, "Mom, I've been thinking about something." "What's that?" "When I grow up, I want to be art therapist. Help kids who went through hard things express themselves." The connection between her trauma and her calling was clear. That's a beautiful idea. Because art helped me so much. And maybe I can help other kids the same way. You'll be amazing at it. I learned from you how to take something bad and make something good from it. Had she really learned that from me? Or had we learned it together? As we headed back to hotel, Bella's hand in mine, I knew we'd be okay. Whatever came next, we'd face it together. As fall arrived and Bella started 4th grade, I noticed something remarkable. She'd stopped asking about my family entirely. Not because she was avoiding topic, but because they'd simply become irrelevant to her life. One evening, doing homework at kitchen table, she said casually, "You know what's funny?" "What?" "I have hard time remembering what grandma looks like. Like, I know generally, but specific details are fuzzy." The fact they'd faded from her memory felt right. They'd chosen not to be present. This was natural consequence. "Does that bother you?" I asked. "No, because I remember important people clearly. Like you and Rachel and Emma and Dr. Sanders, people who mattered are clear." The wisdom in her statement struck me. We remember what matters. They'd chosen not to matter. As months passed, life settled into comfortable rhythm. School, work, art classes, time with chosen family. We'd built something solid. One Saturday, we were baking cookies when Bella asked, "Mom, do you think we'll always be this happy?" I think happiness isn't permanent state. Some days will be harder than others. But yes, I think we'll keep being overall happy, because we've learned how. Learned how? We've learned that happiness comes from choosing right people, setting good boundaries, doing things we love. Those are skills that stay with you. She thought about this while rolling cookie dough. So even when I'm grown up and don't live here anymore, I'll remember how to be happy? Exactly. That's the best thing I can teach you. As holidays approached, we continued our traditions. Decorating tree together, making cookies, volunteering at animal shelter. Christmas morning was peaceful and perfect. After opening presents, Bella said, "This is exactly what I wanted." "More presents?" I teased. "No, this feeling of everything being right." I hugged her tight. "Me too, baby." As New Year approached, I reflected on journey we'd been on. Almost a year and a half since airport incident. Year and a half of healing and growth and building life on our terms. My family had tried to break us. Instead, they'd shown us what we were made of. They'd meant to teach Bella a lesson. They did, just not one they intended. She learned she deserved better. She learned family was about choice, not blood. She learned she was strong enough to survive anything. New Year's Eve, sitting on porch watching fireworks, Bella said, "You know what my resolution is?" "What?" "To keep being happy and help other people find happiness too." "That's beautiful resolution." "What's yours?" "Same as always. To keep being best mom I can be." "You're already that." We hugged as fireworks exploded overhead. And I realized something. We'd done it. We'd survived what my family did and built something better from ashes. They'd thought leaving Bella at airport would put her in her place. Instead, it freed us both. As weeks turned to months and months to seasons, life continued its forward march. Bella thrived in school, made honor roll consistently. Her artwork matured. She was becoming person I'd always hoped she'd become. Confident, kind, creative, strong. One evening, helping with science project, she said something that showed how far she'd come. "Mom, Remember how you said some things happen for reason? I remember. I don't think what they did happened for reason. I think it just happened. But I think how we responded, that was the important part. What do you mean? Like they chose to be cruel, but we chose to be strong. Their choice doesn't define us. Ours does. 9 years old, and she understood what took some people lifetime to learn. That's absolutely right. As spring arrived again, bringing with it warmth and new growth, I felt settled in a way I never had before. Not because everything was perfect, but because we'd learned to handle imperfect. One Saturday, planting flowers in garden, Bella said, "I'm glad we live here. In this house, in this neighborhood, with this life. Me too. Because it's ours. We built it. We did. Working in dirt, planting things that would grow, felt symbolic. We were planting future together. That evening, dirty from gardening, eating pizza on porch, Bella asked, 'Do you think about them anymore?' Sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Me too. But not in sad way. More like thinking about characters in book I read once. The distance in her description felt healthy. They were story we'd lived through, not people currently in our lives. As summer approached, we started planning beach trip again. Annual tradition now. Can we go to same place? Bella asked. Of course. Why? Because it's our place now. Like Grand Floridian is our Disney place. I like having places that are just ours. The importance of claiming spaces, building memories in them, resonated. Then that's exactly what we'll do. Life had become series of small, perfect moments. Not dramatic, not exciting, just solidly good. And that was exactly what we needed. What we deserved. As I watched Bella grow and thrive, I knew we'd made right choice. Cutting off my family hadn't damaged her. It had protected her, given her space to become who she truly was without constant comparison or criticism. One evening, Bella showed me new painting she'd done. Abstract piece in blues and golds. What is it? I asked. It's us. The blue is all hard stuff we went through. Gold is how we turned it into something beautiful. I hugged her tight. It's perfect. Because we are. Not perfect, but perfect for each other. And she was right. We weren't perfect. We had hard days, arguments, struggles, but we were perfectly us. And that was enough. As months continued, I noticed Bella becoming more independent, wanting to walk to friends' house alone, staying up later, asking for more responsibility. Growing up, part of me wanted to hold on, keep her little forever, but I knew my job was to help her fly. One evening, she asked, "Mom, when I'm older, will you be okay when I leave for college? I'll miss you terribly, but I'll also be proud, because raising you to be independent and strong is the goal, even though it'll be hard, especially because it'll be hard. That's what love is, wanting what's best for someone even when it's hard for you." She thought about this. Is that why you cut off your family? Because it was hard but right? Exactly. I chose what was best for you over what was easiest for me. That's what good parents do. That's what love does. As another holiday season approached, our third since airport incident, I felt profound peace. We'd built life worth living, not in spite of what happened, but because of how we'd responded. They'd tried to teach us lesson. We'd learned one, just not the one they intended. As Bella's 10th birthday approached, I found myself reflecting on journey we'd been on. 2 years since that terrible day at airport. 2 years of healing and growth and becoming who we were meant to be. One evening, I asked Bella if she wanted big party for 10th birthday, or something smaller. She thought carefully. Actually, I want to go back to Disney. But this time, can Rachel and Emma come too? I want to share our special place with them. The desire to share rather than hoard our happiness showed her growth. I think that's a wonderful idea. We planned trip for spring break, all 4 of us. Bella was excited in different way now. Not desperate to prove anything, just genuinely looking forward to fun. When we arrived at Grand Floridian, Bella gave Emma full tour. This is our special place, she explained, where Mom and I learned to be happy again. Emma understood implicitly. She'd heard story, knew what we'd been through. That evening, watching girls play in hotel pool while Rachel and I sat nearby, Rachel said, "You know what's amazing?" "What?" "How normal Bella is. After everything she went through, she's just happy, healthy kid. We worked hard for that. I know, but still, you could have let what happened define her. Instead, you helped her define herself beyond it. Had I done that? Maybe. Or maybe Bella had done it herself, and I just provided safe space for healing." Over next few days, we made new memories. 4 of us exploring parks, laughing at rides, eating too much candy. Bella wasn't haunted by past Disney trip. She was building new, happy associations. On last night, watching fireworks, Bella said, "This was perfect." Sharing it with Emma made it even better. The ability to share joy rather than guard it showed emotional health. That summer back home, Bella started art camp again. She came home every day excited about new techniques, new friends, new ideas. She was flourishing in ways I'd hoped for but hadn't dared expect. One evening, showing me her latest painting, she said, "My teacher said I should enter this in contest." "You should. It's beautiful." "What if I don't win?" "Then you'll have tried something brave. That's winning enough." She entered contest. Didn't win, but got honorable mention. And she was proud, not disappointed. "I learned a lot," she said. "That's what matters." The resilience she'd developed served her in all areas of life. As fall arrived and 5th grade started, Bella was confident and ready. Her teacher called me aside after first week. "I just wanted to say Bella's leadership skills are remarkable. Other kids look up to her." "Really?" "Really, she's kind but firm, creative but focused. Whatever you're doing at home, it's working." What was I doing? Just loving her, setting boundaries, showing up. Maybe that was enough. One evening, homework done, Bella asked, "Mom, can I tell you something?" "Always." "I've been thinking about forgiveness. I know I said I forgave them for me, but I want to make sure you know. Forgiving doesn't mean I want relationship with them. I know that." "Good. Because some people think forgiveness means letting people back in. But it doesn't. It just means I'm not carrying anger anymore." The clarity of her boundaries was beautiful. "That's very mature understanding. You taught me that. Boundaries aren't mean, they're healthy." As holidays approached, we continued traditions we'd built. But this year, Bella wanted to add something new. "Can we donate toys to kids who don't have much? Like, in addition to getting our own stuff?" The desire to help others showed empathy she'd developed. "I think that's a wonderful idea." We spent Saturday shopping for toys to donate, Bella carefully selecting items she thought other kids would love. At Donation Center, she said, "I hope these make kids happy like you make me happy." My heart was so full. Christmas morning was peaceful. After opening presents, Bella said, "You know what I realized?" "What?" "I have everything I need. Good mom, nice home, friends I love. Everything else is just extra." The gratitude in 9-year-old was remarkable. As New Year approached, I felt deep satisfaction. Not because everything was perfect, but because we were happy. Truly, deeply happy. New Year's Eve, traditional porch sitting and firework watching, Bella said, "What do you think this year will bring?" "Good things. Because we make good things happen. By choosing right people and doing right things." Exactly. As fireworks exploded overhead and we hugged, I thought about Journey. My family had tried to break us. They'd failed spectacularly. They'd thought leaving Bella at airport would teach her lesson about knowing her place. Instead, it taught her she deserved better place. With better people. They'd meant to diminish us. Instead, they'd revealed their own smallness while we grew stronger. Sometimes I wondered if they ever thought about us, about what they'd lost. But then I realized it didn't matter. Their regret or lack thereof couldn't touch us anymore. We'd built life so full of love and purpose that their absence wasn't loss. It was freedom. One evening in January, Bella asked a question that showed how far she'd come. "Mom, if you could go back and change what happened, would you?" I thought carefully. "I'd take away your pain and heartbeat, but I wouldn't change who we've become because of it." Does that make sense? Perfect sense, because we're pretty awesome now. She was right. We were awesome, not despite what happened, but because of how we'd responded to it. As winter turned to spring and Bella's 10th birthday arrived, I threw her party she wanted. Friends from school, art class kids, Rachel and Emma, house full of laughter and joy. Watching Bella surrounded by people who genuinely cared about her, I felt vindicated. This was what she deserved. This was what I'd fought for. After everyone left and we were cleaning up, Bella said, "Best birthday ever. Thank you for everything, Mom. Thank you for being you. We make good team. Best team." As months continued and summer approached, life fell into rhythm that felt right. Bella thriving, me content. Our little family of 2+ dog happy and healthy. One evening, sitting on porch watching sunset, Bella said, "I have question." "Shoot, do you think we'll always be this close, even when I'm grown up?" "I do, because our relationship isn't based on obligation. It's based on genuine love and respect. That doesn't go away." "Good, because you're my favorite person." "You're mine too, baby." As stars came out and fireflies danced in yard, I felt profound peace. We'd survived worst thing I could imagine. And we'd come out other side stronger, happier, more whole. My family would never understand what they'd lost. And honestly, that was their problem, not ours. We'd built something beautiful from ashes of their betrayal. We'd turned their cruelty into our strength. We'd proven that family wasn't about blood. It was about love, loyalty, showing up. If this story resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe. Remember that protecting people you love is never wrong, even when it's hard, even when it means cutting ties with people who share your DNA. Family isn't about biology. It's about who shows up, who stays, who chooses love over convenience. Bella and I built something beautiful from ashes of betrayal. We proved that sometimes family you create is stronger than family you're born into. And we learned most important lesson of all. You can't make people care the right way. You can only decide how much space they get in your life. My family got 0 space, and we got everything. Happiness, peace, love, security, everything that matters. They thought leaving Bella at airport would teach her lesson. They were right, just not lesson they intended. She learned she deserved better. So did I. And we built life that proved it every single day.